Hello. It's late, so try and keep it down. It's around past 11 or past 12 now, at least. I think. I haven't been to bed yet, so I'm going to review something. I give I'm going to review two movies. Avengers Endgame and Green Lantern from 2011. I like both movies enough to give both movies a easy 8 out of 10. For a mediocre script with not the best developed characters or fleshed out or, memorable or not the most memorable version of the characters put to screen within the world of Avengers Endgame is how I feel. I like the CGI effects as much as I did with 2011's Green Lantern movie. It's as convincing as those CGI effects, I think. Well, convincing to the negative eye. And I appreciate how this Avengers Endgame takes inspiration from the Green Lantern with full CGI suits for each Avengers member that go to during the time heist. During the times they wear these suits and all those Avengers suit uniforms, those were 100% CGI. Not a single real one was made. That's not lazy at all, like Green Lantern was doing with the... That's not all like the same thing with why people hated Green Lantern movie, because they went with a full CGI animated cartoon suit that wasn't really made. Completely different, I guess. That's what people say on YouTube, anyway. Versus people who like the Avengers Endgame. For the audience that his has built on. Not many people have a lot of problems with the Avengers Endgame movie, but I do. Other than Mark Ruffalo's Hulk being a shitty performance and basically not resembling a really Hulk from the comics at all, or Bruce Banner. He's just now playing Mark Ruffalo. Boring Mark Ruffalo. Playing himself. And you can tell that Mark Ruffalo's not giving a shit anymore. He's giving the minimum, same effort that George Clooney gave in for, well, the Batman and Robin. We know how he completely phoned in the role and just didn't give a fuck. That's what Mark Ruffalo gives the performance in a nutshell for his Smart Hulk performance and his final performance was Bruce Banner before the 10-year time jump when he's selling Smart Hulk for no explanation reasons. With no visual explaining, but dialogue explain. So it's like the number one rule in filmmaking. Show, don't tell. Was it tell, don't show? I don't remember. But anyway, so this movie does more telling than showing and making sense of things. It does like a good job of telling us it's making sense rather than showing us it's making sense of Avengers Endgame. It has a problem with the whole... it doesn't seem to get the concept you're supposed to show, don't really tell as much. when it comes to important story beats, like the Hulk suddenly has the mind of Bruce Banner, and no longer the Hulk persona at all. What happened? Did Banner just murder the Hulk in his sleep? I mean, I think that's what happened, and that's how Banner took control of the wheel. Murdered Hulk in his sleep, and now he's like, gets all the power in the world. And we can't get a break from Mark Ruffalo. Oh, great. More Mark Ruffalo. More shitty performance from him. I don't know which is worse, his or Matthew Broderick's Inspector Gadget. Is more uncharming and likable. Which is more? Which is more like a arrogant rash that won't go away? Mark Ruffalo probably is worse than especially Mark Broderick as Inspector Gadget, okay? In this movie, Avengers Endgame. That's what I think. Now I'm going to talk about Green Lantern. I like the costume, even though it's all CGI. I like the design of the costume, and I like what it's going for. I like the design of the costume, the Green Lantern design went for in 2011. I don't think it's the best design. I think the designs that they could have gone for, and that they shown in behind the scenes, if you look behind the scenes of the special features of the multiple Green Lantern costumes they were going to go for Hal Jordan, besides this one design, were all better and had more attention to detail. But for some reason, the creators of the film thought it was a really good idea to make it look like it's part of his skin design. And didn't think that would look weird to the audience, which I admit it looks a little weird for the time, I thought, but I think it's not as weird as I think it is probably a little weird design. Let's face it, this is probably not the best Hal Jordan Green Lantern design they could have gone with for the costume. Compared to all the other designs I saw they had on the special features that they were going to go with, but they went with this one for the final design. Personally, I think all the other designs that they had for the Green Lantern that they didn't, like for the Green Lantern Cord, related to Hal Jordan, were better suited, would have been way look, less like, what's the word? Rubber? CGI rubber at times, this can look like. Yeah. There's something about the Green Lantern Core designs in the Green Lantern design around Hal Jordan's costume. There's something. It doesn't look like it doesn't look fully right. Like compared to it just doesn't look as good as what we could have gotten. Okay, but you know. This is still pretty cool in the final product, I thought. And I like that the fact that he actually said the catchphrase from the comic that Hal Jordan says in the comics, the Green Lantern Oath. I thought it was a cool moment as Avengers Assemble from Endgame. When Avengers Assemble was finally said by Captain America that we waited to hear some stuff. For those who looked at the comics and know that looked at and ever watch the cartoons, that's kind of a thing the Avengers say before they when they're about going to battle. That's known for them saying that in the older comics. Them saying that often. So my own problem is not in a better movie like 2012 or Age of Ultron even. of a movie, Avengers Assemble, wasn't in those two. The ones I would have loved to see them in. That catchphrase of said by Captain America in the first two ones. I would have loved that. I hated it. That's only in this movie because this Avengers script to me is just such a mediocre and script with these round in the final round of these versions of the Avengers that's been building around since phase 1. And the fact that this was this last hurrah with these Avengers, it just made me kind of sad. Like, not a good kind of sad, like you feel like the sad you feel like what James Gunn did with the ending of the Guardians movie trilogies with the third one. You know how the third Guardian movie, it made you feel sad at the end, but it felt satisfying, and the Guardians were going their own ways and splitting up, and Rockets will be found is the founding member of the new Guardians and the leader. And so on that note, I thought that was cool, but like kept, you know how like that was a kind of a sad but satisfying ending a little bit. This, what the writing in Avengers Endgame, it just makes you feel sad, like wondering, was it worth making this much cringe in a movie? Instead of telling a satisfying story about the founding stories of the Avengers, was it worth it to the Russo brothers to wipe their own asses and pat each other on the back saying, "Good job, John. We're like trying to be artists," instead of actually getting what the people want, which is actually the main focus of the Avengers, and just wrapping out the story. But it just feels like they want to be artists and not really give what the fans want as a satisfying story with these versions of the Avengers. The last time we're going to see these versions of the Avengers, and it does the bare minimum of satisfying me, of getting a satisfying of all you can be, all the best Avengers movie of a lifetime. But instead, what I got is a mediocre script from these heroes that I came to love from the first two Avengers movies, then they kind of dropped downhill with Infinity War. So I was kind of hoping, okay, so Infinity War is basically set up for this movie, right? So you would think that they would put their writing on the, take this seriously, but no, they don't. They take their writings and they wipe their fucking asses with the script and send it to you suckers, the public. You eat it up like I do. You eat that shit up. And promote this fucking movie, Avengers Endgame, and see it in theaters. Right? Because you saw the trailer, it looked awesome, and you got sucked into it like I did. That's why I give Avengers Endgame and Green Lantern a 8 out of 10 for a mediocre script. I give both movies a mediocre script and forgettable stories with these iconic versions of these characters. With the last round of the Avengers, with the last... Let me rephrase what I'm saying, okay? I give these movies an 8 out of 10 for being mediocre scripts, and, just not being what I wanted. And more. these were disappointing movies. I thought Avengers Endgame and Green Lantern from 2011 was starring Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. That's how I think these movies are. That I like them, but I'm a little pissed off at them. So yeah, I have mixed feelings to these movies. Why I'm giving it 8 out of 10. These movies, Green Lantern and Avengers Endgame. From Marvel Studios. Okay. I like this video and hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell, then hit subscribe in that order to get subscribed to my channel. Check out my other content if you get the chance. Okay. Goodbye.